Hi, I'm happy you're here. So, usually I present things that I realize, and that's what I'm gonna do today, but it has a little twist. So, recently it's been really annoying me that so many people, especially women, they make posts in a certain way, like videos, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's always like this: look at me, look at me, look at me, sorry. Um, and, I'm guilty of this, obviously, as well. I am. And I just have to speak my truth. I can't lie. I can't withhold things because it's just impossible to me nowadays. And what I notice is when there's not the reception you want, which is quite common now because everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to post. Everybody wants the likes. And you don't get the likes or you don't get the attention that you need. And you obviously you deserve it. Maybe not so obvious, but I do think we all deserve it. But what I've noticed is this pain when you don't get it. And for me, and maybe for you as well, if you go back in time and think about where this could come from, most often it started with our parents and makes me sad. And it hurts. It does. And what hurts me is as well is this weird type of ignorance that so many people participate in this. I think that's why it hurts. Like, first of all, I'm nothing against it, but I'm not the type of person who posts attention grabbing stuff. I just want to share myself as other people share themselves. And sometimes I compare myself and I'm like, well, this person is doing the bare minimum and they're getting like millions of followers, and why am I not getting this? You know? And it hurts because we're comparing ourselves and we're like, well, I'm not as good as this person, obviously. I'm not as good looking, or I'm not as interesting, or I'm not as worthy for whatever reason. It's not always a solution to everything. Sometimes all we can do is stay with it, with this pain. And I tend to always look for a solution. That's kind of why I started this channel, because I found a lot of solutions for a lot of things. But then there are some days where you just don't feel like doing the things that can help you, Like, I made a video yesterday about like the easiest way basically to change your habits and to start working out and things like that. It's really, really easy and it's really, really simple, and I would love to do it today, but I just can't. I feel cold. There's so many other things to complain about, and I haven't slept properly, and deep down I know I don't need to be productive every single day. I don't need to be this ideal person that I have in my head. I know that. It's just hard. I have this app that I found, which is the Boo, and a lot of people use it as an alternative dating app, but you can like you can say basically I'm looking for friends and whatever you're looking for. And I put both, like I'm open to having a partner. I would love to find somebody who loves me, like, I kind of feel like I never had that in my life. And it's just not easy nowadays, especially if you're just busy, occupied with work and keeping up with the people who are already in your lives, which I really reduced. Like I cut out and I cut out some people, and then others, they just left and they just don't reply anymore for whatever reason. It just feels like shit. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. But I think that has a place, because if we don't stay with these emotions, we suppress it. Even if we want to do it with good intentions, we want to find a solution, as I said. And yeah, we can do that. Sure, we can do that, but we have to stay with it for just a little bit, and go deep within, and just, it's going to make you aware of how it started. And I think that's really, really important, because I believe that, let me make a strange analogy. I believe that the world is a mirror. But what I think, what that means is, if we're fortunate, we have a parent who mirrors us perfectly, or who mirrors us well, which means, for example, we cry, they find out why we're crying, they help us to find out why we're crying, and then they accept it. That's the most important thing, because yes, maybe you want a hug and stuff like that, and that comes automatically, but a lot of people just want to jump over all of these steps and immediately go to, for example, one time I was just crying in the underground, and there was this lady who came up to me, and it was a special thing, because for me, I grew up in Vienna, which is a very racist country, and maybe because it's such a racist country, the dark-skinned African women, they always gave me nasty looks, always. Or okay, nothing is always, but you know what I mean. It was really, really bad. And this African lady comes to me really, really kindly, and she's like, "Why are you crying? You're so pretty." And it was nice, but it made me feel so, like, it felt wrong. It felt wrong to just jump over all of the reasons and all of everything, and just what I maybe needed was just somebody, myself, to just stay with it a bit. And yes, crying is okay, crying is okay. But when you realize that your parents never gave you what you needed, and then it continued for me, it continued. I got bullied severely. And now I feel the same way sometimes. I'm like, people don't care, they don't care about me beyond my looks, which will fade and will change. And people judge so strongly on superficial things that it's sickening. It's really sickening. It really is. And everybody thinks also that we are mirrors. Like, they start projecting on us. Like, for example, it kind of runs in my family that we have this RBF, like this face, or like when I'm concentrating, a lot of people think I'm judging them, I feel better than them, I'm arrogant, a lot of people in my past have told me, oh, I thought you were arrogant and stuff, before talking to me. And then they talk to me and they're like, oh, you're actually nice. As if I have done something wrong, you know? As I said, there's so many things to complain about. Oh, about the mirror thing. Maybe, just maybe, I really think that things happen for a reason. And if the world is holding this mirror into your face, like, oh, people are just, I don't know if it makes sense, but I just feel like I'm going in myself and realizing myself how I devalue myself, you know. It's almost like because I felt like everybody rejected me, there was this mirror held into my face and just say, look at you, like not look at you superficially, but look at your own thoughts. Like, why do you think it's so important what other people think? And part of it is biological. I think that's why it's so hard to get over these things, because we, at one point, our survival is at stake. Like, if our feelings get dismissed as a baby, if it's severe, we can die, right? If society pushes us away, if we feel like an outcast, we don't have support. We don't have emotional support and even other types of supports. Like, the job I got recently is the best job I had in my entire life. And it was only possible because I socialized with someone and I just was open enough so that they could see my skills, just by me focusing on my own stuff and my own dreams. And they saw what I'm doing and they asked me for help because we were using similar platforms and programs and stuff. And then they were like, one day they said to me, you know what, actually I need somebody like you. Like, I feel like you would be perfect. And it turns out that is true. So, okay, I have this one thing ticked off my list, which is amazing. I'm super grateful. But now I'm focusing on other things, right? And I'm not a fan of society, like how it works nowadays and all of these things. But yeah, it just keeps, I feel like I'm being pushed into just looking internally and focusing on myself in like this weird, it's a weird type of selfishness that's very healthy, I think. Because I'm healing myself and it's taking long, I'm telling you, it's taking long, but only then will we become an actual valuable person to society, because we're not going to be toxic, we're going to be aware, and we have the energy and we have the strength, to participate. So many of us are just hiding at home, and it's funny because I'm hiding today, but it's just too cold. There's so many excuses, as I said, there's so many excuses. And sometimes we have to. But I'm talking about weeks on end. I'm talking about more than a full week, because I don't think that's good. And it's a bit of a chaotic ramble, but I hope it made some sense. See you soon.